Hey everybody, it's Mike coming to you from Vaught RV here in Fort Worth, Texas. I have behind me a J-Feather Micro. This is a 171BH. What's special about this, among other things, is it does not have a slide, it does have bunks, and it does have a flexible bunk area in the back where the bottom bunk flips up and allows for a lot more storage in it, flexible storage. So let me get started showing this off. This is one of my favorite micros because if you're going to buy a micro, you want it to be micro, and this is one of the smallest, lightest weight units. They have 20 feet long, right at 20 feet long, less than 4,000 pounds. So you can pull this with any half-ton truck, pretty much. A lot of SUVs and a lot of vehicle choices to pull this with. Now, I'm going to point out some differences in 2023 from 2022 if you've watched or looked at a 2022. So as we go around, I'll point out some differences. The overall facade of it's going to look very consistent with what you've seen before. It's Azdel fiberglass exterior, which is very nice. You can see we have Nerf bars or brush guards all the way around. This protects the side of the coach from brush and grass and so on. If you're buying something like this, you're probably going to want to take it off grid. I hope you are. It's really equipped to do that. So it's lifted. It's about 3 inches higher clearance. You've got off-road Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires here. And notice it's also a wider stance than a typical travel trailer. This is 7.5 feet wide body, and then you can see the wheels come all the way out and actually past the frame of the coach. So it's very stable this way when you're getting it off-road like that. And then you got these nice steel fender wells here that protect the side of the unit too. Now I've got a nice awning up here with an LED light strip, speakers on the outside, which you can stream music through from your cell phone. While I'm on this side, I'll just point out I have electrical power here and cable satellite connections, so you can hook up a TV out here, or maybe you just want to have a coffee maker or a blender out here, you can do that. There is a mount that comes with this unit, so you can pop a television out here if you want to do some tailgating. This is your furnace vent, and then this is a light switch, which of course we can't see, but there's a nice blue light underneath these steps. Now these steps are new for 2023. I'm going to trade places here with you, Brian. So these are Lippert solid steps that come standard on all these units. I like it. These legs are infinitely adjustable and easy to adjust. So if you get someplace where the ground's uneven, all you're going to do is pull out on this knob where that little yellow collar is. The leg drops down, and you have a nice firm point of entry for the coach. Have a little pass-through storage up here with a magnet catch. These are the light switches for the front of the coach right here, which are going to turn on the LED lights in front. I have household current and a light for the compartment there. Now what you see in here is a griddle. This comes with a griddle, and this is the platform on which that griddle rests in the back of the trailer, and I'll get to that in a second. And this is the crank for your jacks, which I'll point out when I get around to the back as well. Now you can put cameras on this if you want. It's prepped for cameras, prepped for a side camera as well as rear camera. Coming around to the front, there's an electric tongue jack that's also lighted, makes hooking and unhooking a breeze. There's a lot of redundancies, and you should know what they are. You should get to know your trailer. One of the redundancies is you can pop this grommet out and crank this down by hand. So, and there's a crank in there for that. I always like to have a plan B. What if the battery is dead? Heaven forbid, what if this motor ever fails? I haven't seen that happen yet, but if it does, I still want to be able to crank this up and down, and you can with that hand crank in there. So always think about that. 2 propane bottles that are connected together, and then your battery tray here, which will accommodate 2 Group 27 flooded cell batteries back here. Now you can see these lights. I turned them on here. You can probably see them even in the bright sunlight. Neat marker lights in front. So sneaking around here on the what I call the utility side is the opposite side of our pass-through storage here. Now this is cool for 2023. These feathers are coming standard, and Whitehawks are coming standard with a Furrion tankless or on-demand water heater. So no longer are you heating a tank of water all the time. This is on-demand water. Just like that, you have hot water. Here's something else that's cool about this that you won't find in many other on-demand water heaters. This is 60,000 BTU. It's a lot. So you're in a hurry, going to take a shower, your partner gets in there and wants to take a shower, you've got plenty of hot water. 60,000 BTU. It's a neat little upgrade that's standard on all of these feathers now, as well as White Hawk. So kudos to Jayco for doing that. That's really cool. We've got a blank tank flush here, and then your main city water connection below there. That's your pressurized water. If you're off grid, and hopefully you will be with something like this, you're going to fill this tank, your holding tank, with fresh water right here. It's a gravity fill. Now, best practice is to only carry a few gallons at a time for a trip. Otherwise, you're just hauling around a few hundred pounds of water that you don't need to be dragging around. You can usually get good fresh water close to your campsite where you're going. So, but during the trip, want to wash your hands, flush the toilet or whatever, put a few gallons in here just for the trip. Obviously, we have an outdoor shower here, hot and cold, with a long hose here, so you can wash off the pets, the kids, your sandy feet at the beach, and so on. It's even got a holder right here. So we've utilized the outdoor shower on our unit a lot for a lot of different reasons. Most often, stinky dogs. Perfect place to give them a bath out here. Detachable 30 amp power cord right here, and then we've got our little marker lights right here. Notice the nice alloy wheels too on all the J-Feather micros. Now, one thing I love about this floor plan, and we'll see when we go inside, but this is the bunk area right here. And look, boom, we have a door. So if you're going to use this area for storage, and you probably will, in addition to bunks, so there's a bunk up here, a bunk here, and look at this nice storage. So let's say you have easy up tents, grill, camping supplies, bag chairs, all this nice room to do that. Now this just hinges up like so. You can pop this up and that latches in. Now look at that, I can put a bicycle in there. There's a lot of ways I can use that storage space. Very flexible storage space, and easy to pop back down and just pull that pin, and now we're back to the bunk. It has a deadbolt lock right here, just like your main entryway to the coach, so it's real secure. And you can black it out entirely with this thin shade, which is already in here. So if you're using it for a bunk, obviously you don't want this open to keep it dark in there and everything, so that's nice. We have our diamond plating here on the back, so that really protects against rock chips and so on, and you can see where we're prepped for the camera. Now, here's a cool thing in 2023, and a different thing in 2023 is this ladder. So before, you might recall, there was a ladder that you popped out of a bracket and you could move it around the side, and Jayco's opted to go with this collapsible ladder. I'm a huge fan of these. I want one myself, and I think I'll buy one eventually. But here's cool thing. There's two clasps here that lock this in place. A lot of people, when we first rolled these out, said, well, somebody's just gonna come steal it. Here's the thing, you can put a lock there. You can put a lock there and there both. Branded Jayco, that's what secures it in place. So now that I've flipped those up, just lift it up out of here, and it's super lightweight. Now, what's cool about this is, even though it's only this high, you can, whoops, let me undo the Velcro. You can raise it to any height you want. So let's say we're gonna need to get up on the roof and come around this way. See that little bracket up there? To make sure it's a secure point of contact, just drop that in like so. Pull this out at a comfortable angle, and it locks in place. Now, I'm safe to get up here. Get those fighter jets in the video. We're being dive bombed here, but so, and I got a little bit extra to grab onto up here. So this is great. Now I can move this around anywhere, and it's aluminum, so it's not gonna scratch up the side of the coach, but this is the most secure place to get up here. I have two luggage racks right here. So if I'm gonna bring up a kayak or something like that, this is the perfect place to do it. It gives me access for this. While I'm up here, I'll point out that there's a solar panel up here as well. So this unit's upfitted with solar. So, come back down here. I'm gonna lift this up out of those two little cleat locations like that. Now here's the trick. I'll turn this around so you can see it better. What you wanna do, actually, see these little tabs? I'm gonna push in on them. Keep your fingers out of here, all right? If you keep your finger in there, you're gonna lose a finger. So pop it down like that, and it's gonna collapse for you. See how that works? As long as you keep your fingers out, you're good. Same way down here. And here. So just take it back. Don't make the mistake I made and put it on this way. You want these cleats to the outside, otherwise you'll scratch the side of the trailer. So have them pointing out. Put the bottom one in first, like so. And then just lift this top one up to where it grabs this. Now I can pop these down, put the pins in, lock it, and we're good for travel. This just goes up around this and holds these together. So pretty cool. I like that. That's a neat feature. I wouldn't mind having that just around the house to have a handy ladder around the house when I needed it. Now, jacks, real quick. Let me point out these quick drop jacks right here. So these are different than what you've seen before. So let me go up front and grab the crank, and I'll be right back and show this to you. Now, you have a crank here that you can use, but you can also use a cordless drill with a 3/4 inch driver. Do not use an impact drill. An impact drill can put too much torque on this and actually damage the jack assembly. Just a regular cheapo cordless drill will work fine, or this. Now, these are quick drop, so you're just gonna give this thing a crank down like so, and notice how much faster it's dropping down than the old style. I'd be cranking here for at least 2 or 3 minutes on the old style. So just crank this down until that foot makes contact, and then have a look at it. Now, here's the secret. I wanna preferably see some daylight between this red plate and that jack, so it's at least parallel, so I'm good. Here's the thing, the more vertical you can get this leg, the better and more stable it's gonna be. Once you get it set up, chances are you're probably not going to need to adjust it much, but if you do, you can, and it's easy to do. So, lift this up a little bit. Now you notice the higher I get on this, the faster the jack is going to retract. So that's pretty quick. Even if you're stuck with just this and you don't have an electric drill, that's pretty easy. Easy to adjust this by just lifting up on this and pulling this leg up or down, right? So if you're lucky enough, you can actually lift it to about right there, crank it down. Now if I do that, I'm not gonna have the desired angle. So in this case, I'm gonna keep it as high as I can and do the drill that I just did. And that way I've got a good stable contact point. When these are all 4 drop down, there's very little movement inside the coach. Kids running around, one of you is an early riser, you're not transferring motion, and so these are great jacks, and glad to see Jayco did that. Now, if you want to put your outdoor griddle, right here's where it's going to go. That little platform that I pointed out earlier, it's going to go right here, and that's your propane quick connect under there. Now, we've pretty much gone around the outside of this coach. Anything I'm forgetting, Brian? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Got our steps, so these are solid steps. These are a little bit different than the MORryde step above steps, but again, adjustable legs. All you do is pull out on this, and that goes up and down wherever you need it to make a good firm contact point. And these are standard on all J feathers too. So with that, let's go inside and have a look. Okay, now we're on the inside of this 171BH J Feather Micro. Again, a really distinguishing characteristic of this is not only do we have bunks, but we have that handy door back there. Remember, I can flip up this bottom bunk and turn this into a storage area. Either way, you have this storage area under here. which I can access from outside or just pop this elastic away. If you've got a pet, that's the perfect place for the pet to hang out. You got little kiddos, they're probably gonna like to play house under there or whatever. Or you can just use it for storage, like I said. So my wife and I have had several units with bunk floor plans, and we don't have any kids. So, but we still utilize this for different things. If you do have a guest, you have a sleeping position. If you just things like guitars and arts and crafts and extra blankets and stuff like that, use it for storage. So it's real handy. And in 2023, it used to be there wasn't a ladder here. You just sort of gave it a dive and hoped you ended up in there. And now we have a ladder that just drops down from the side. So now there's an actual ladder to help, especially the kids, get up to that top bunk. And then when you're done with it, just pop it up out of the way. I appreciate having that there, because a lot of people in the past, well, how's my 6-year-old supposed to get up there? Good eye, Brian, thank you. So, nice little decor. This is modern farmhouse decor. If you're keeping score at home, a lighter color brightens the inside nicely, and nice backsplash material, which is a carryover from the previous model year. It looks like real tile, but it's not. It looks 3D. I had to touch it the first time it came in to believe that it wasn't actual real tile. Now, a little galley area here, and remember, we're in a micro, so everything in here is pretty cozy, and yet it's very functional. 3-burner cooktop. Pop that back to be your backsplash. This removes for easy cleaning. We have our igniter here, controls for the burners here, and then storage under here. Jayco's famous for always putting solid wood faces on their drawers and door cabinets, so no difference here. Ball bearing, full extension, drawer glides, a little bit of storage under there as well. And finally on top as well. Little microwave here, so big enough to warm up leftovers and do those popcorn, stuff like that. Now this is vented to the outside and it is lighted, so that's venting the heat and the smells out to the outside. New in 2023, everything's stainless, where it was black in 2022. Minor change, but pointing it out. Now we have a little dinette here that will drop down into a bed. If you want another sleeping position, this drops down, these posts come out, and now you have a bed here. So how many can we sleep? 2 in the queen bed up front. I would say 1 here, so there's 3 and 4 and 5. Could sleep comfortably. Now you notice this guy flashing back here. We have solar on board already. So this is your charge controller. This is sending a charge and monitoring the battery condition on the trailer here. We have a 12-volt refrigerator here, which is running off batteries, so it's important to keep those batteries happy and healthy, and this solar is going to help do that. While I'm talking about it, let's look at it. It's a 12-volt fridge. I'm a fan of these. It's a compressor fridge. Works just like your refrigerator at home, and it cools down a lot quicker. 12-volt fridge, you very much can still boondock with a 12-volt fridge. Again, you just want to be mindful of your battery charge. If you don't have any other source of power besides solar, you're going to need a generator. If you got a long string of cloudy days, you're going to need a generator. You'll always need a generator to run this air conditioner and microwave anyway. So the best of all worlds, have a little generator, have a little solar, and you're covered. And that's what you would have here. Okay, now looking at the front end of this coach, we've got a queen bed here, east and west. Why do they do east and west, you ask? So it keeps this trailer overall length shorter, i.e. lighter. So Jayco could turn the bed this way. You end up with a longer trailer and a heavier trailer. So again, everything in this is with keeping in mind of taking it off grid. So short as possible, light as possible. We have an east and west bed. Up here, there's a little wireless charger. If you can see this right there. There's wireless charging capabilities for most phones, so you can see my phone is starting to charge right there just by laying it on there. If you pop this up, now I have USB as well as household current there as well. So that's handy right at the headboard of the bed where you need it. Underneath the bed here, I have little storage ottomans basically. So you can store blankets and shoes and pet toys and stuff. Plus, you can use that as an ottoman on either one of these if you're watching TV, or help the kiddos get up into the bunk besides that ladder. So a lot of ways you can use these little ottomans. Here is our TV. This is a 12-volt TV. It's also a radio tuner. So this is all running off 12 volts. So you can be out in the middle of nowhere. If you can get a signal of any kind, tune in your channels and you can have TV. Now this will pull out away from the wall and then adjust for different viewing angles inside the coach here. Now I have a little bit of storage up on top here as well, behind these smoked glass inserts. And again, these are solid maple doors on all these cabinets. 2 lights up here that you control just right there, easy enough, and a nice thick mattress that's actually quite comfortable. So there's a little USB port right behind the dinette there for charging gadgets. Makes it easy for keeping things charged up. So now in the back of the coach, let's take a look at the bathroom. Not huge, but neither is the trailer. So I do have a sink right here, a nice big medicine cabinet, a little bit of storage underneath, a toilet. So this is what I call a traditional bathroom, not a wet bath. That's a plastic toilet, it's a foot flush. What's the pink stuff you say? That is RV antifreeze. So this unit has come from Indiana, where the tundra is still frozen 12 months out of the year. It never thaws out up there. No, that's not true. I'm from Elkhart County. It does thaw out, but these units come in winterized. That's why you see pink stuff there, as well as in the bottom of the shower right there. So I have a 1-piece shower surround in this. Again, not huge, but plenty big enough to get in here and do what you need to do. This is new in 23, a larger shower head here. So again, separate sink, separate shower, separate toilet, big enough to meet your needs. So we're in a 171 BH. This is a J Feather Micro, smallest and lightest weight of the bunkhouse micros. And part of the reason for that is it does not have a slide. If you really want a slide, they do make a unit with a slide, and it does open it up in here. Costs a few more bucks, weighs a few more pounds, but this is a super simple, lightweight, nimble travel trailer if you want to get off grid and really enjoy the outdoors. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Your vote's way more important than mine is. If you have questions about this unit, drop them in the comments below. Do my best to get to them. If you'd like to see a video of a unit that we haven't gotten to, let me know. By the way, we did get a request for a 174 BH, that's a J flight, and we'll jump on that as soon as we get one in here. So thanks for that request. I've already made a note of it, and I'll get to that as soon as one comes in. Hey, my name's Mike. I appreciate you joining me. Click like and subscribe below. That way you'll be the first to know when we post more videos just like this. I'll see you next time. Howdy everybody, thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned a thing or two from what I had to say. If you did and feel like it, then click subscribe below. And when I post a video, you'll be the first to know. See you next time.